speaker in the Program of Oral Interpretation, or POI, event. This young lady is our first state qualifier since 2021. Kennedy Hobson, sophomore, she will be attending the state speech tournament next week on Wednesday in Kearney, where she will be competing against Class B students from all over the state. We are really, really excited to hear from Kennedy, see what she can do, make Sydney proud, and put our name on the map. I would argue that our district is probably one of the tougher ones outside of the Lincoln schools, because we compete against schools like Gearing, who is a powerhouse in speech, Ogallala, again another powerhouse, Alliance, Chadron, McCook, and Cozad. Gearing really should be competing in Class A. They're that good. They are phenomenal. And we have to go toe-to-toe with them every single meet. Kennedy placed in the top 3. That's how they qualified to go to state. She placed 3rd at our district meet last week, and as a result, like I said, qualified to go speak in Kearney. So without any further ado, Kennedy Hobson and her POI on human trafficking.
Property, plaything, object, nothing. She was not even old enough to know the first time she was sold. Men would come, men would go. She could only come. She could never go. She always did what she was told so that she would not be sold to an even worse man, one somehow worse than the one she already had. She had to listen to survive. She would rather have been dead than alive. She was a slave. The innocents who have to endure the sex trafficking ring are voiceless. Their bodies are being sold for the use of others. We hear about these horrors in news and movies. Although these outlets seek to bring awareness, the individual lives of those affected are often overshadowed. My hope is that by providing an inside look at these girls' experiences, we can work together to actually create change. Today, with poetry, A Slave for Now, An Angel Forever, by Julia F. Prose, The Two-Step Solution to Ending Human Trafficking in the U.S., by Sarah Banerjee. Radio script, Florence Saves Girls from Human Trafficking. Avocado, by Eve Ensler. And song lyrics, Blackbird, by Paul McCartney. I present a program, Humans for Sale. He seemed nice. I did what he told me. I believed what he said. I'm stupid, so stupid. When he came and said I was pretty. When he came. The way he looked at me, I swear he was nice. He bought me a coffee with milk and 3 sugars. He smelled good. He said I was pretty. They all said that. They said it for themselves, to make themselves feel worthy of a pretty girl. But they weren't looking. No, not at me. Well, maybe a few. Every day she had no name, no birthday, no friends, no family. She barely had life. But she knew that could so easily end. No one out there knew what they were doing. No one out there could see or hear her crying. No one out there knew the signs. No one out there saw the anguish in her mind or the shame that was her life. Change begins with understanding. Human trafficking is a crime against humanity. It involves the act of recruiting, transporting, transferring, harboring, or receiving a person for the purpose of exploiting them. Every year, thousands of people are trafficked within or outside their countries, which are either the site of the crime, uses transit, or as a destination for its victims. Blackbirds singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment. No! No! It is always dark, and suddenly you're jammed into one tiny space with nothing to eat. A hungry fox. Did I tell you about the avocados? That we are jammed among the avocados. The avocados, they were too hard. We were all so hungry. Oh God, the smell. I have not told you about the smell. The blood, sweat, worry. And now, vomit. Can you smell? It requires courage. Even the dark, even closing your eyes cannot get rid of the stink. Oh God, it smells so bad. For so many days, she would stay, locked away, waiting for men with bad intent in complete silence. Her mother, her sister, both sold, both gone. Her father, her brother, both by her. Both their soul. Change begins with the victims. Human trafficking often results in the forced labor or prostitution of its victims, who are frequently recruited from rural areas on false pretenses and then exploited. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly, into the light of the dark black night. My father is a murderer. My father is involved in crime, and all that money that fed us hurt someone else, and all that made our lives took someone else's life away. And that beginning was gone, and I was no longer here, and here was gone. And my father was dead, but not in my heart. Change begins with us. Because of the stigma involved in human trafficking, survivors are often considered criminals instead of victims. As a result, the legal systems put into place often wind up further traumatizing them, creating the opposite effect of the anti-trafficking policy goals put into place. Talking was what bad girls did. Bad girls were dead. To be good, that was how a girl got to live. Good girls, they did not fight. They fought no more. Bad girls, they never stopped fighting. Or they did. But only when they were dead or when the fight was taken out of them by the owner and all the other men. We were told not to say a single word. A single word could be our end. At the beginning, she was crying. Stop crying. That's what they told me after you did it the first time. Stop crying, or else they will. Wherever predators swarm, prey is sent. Wherever violation, evil lurk, innocence and good are dispensed. Like water that flows down into that bottomless pit of nothingness, never to be resurrected, as its victims now run dry of their worth, suffer in silence on this cruel earth. amount of money they paid, no matter what the amount, their minds had long ago been made. Cha-ching! Your total is $90 for Jane Doe. But she did know, without a shadow of a doubt, or a single drop of faith, or a faint flicker in spirit's flame, that she would always be a slave. Blackbirds singing in the dead of night, take us sunken eyes and learn to see. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to be free. It is always dark, and you learn to close your eyes. But suddenly, there are strange men at your door, and no one told you they were coming, and you keep asking your mother where they are taking you, and she keeps telling you it'll be a new beginning. But you don't believe in beginnings. Beginnings are betrayals, and as they drag you off, you are kicking and screaming. You are begging your mother who is there but no longer there. You are begging and